I would have used this money to do this. Ah, this money would have done this. You're an extrovert who is not going outside. You're not connecting with people. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, of course, Chiamaka. Okay, what's up? How are you doing? Now, if this is your first time seeing my face, do not make it your last by clicking on the subscribe button and putting on your notifications so that you get notified whenever I post a video. But if you're a returning subscriber, hey, what's up? How are you doing? Now, today's video is one that so recently I've been shooting a lot of videos, and it just occurred to me that okay, you've been neglecting a different set of people. Now, you know how we talk about savings, we talk about not getting carried away by social media and all of that. Do you know that there are certain set of people that have issues spending money on themselves? Like they have issues catering from themselves. They have this self-care guilt, right? They feel they have the money, but spend like to use that money. You can afford it. It's not like you can afford it. It's not like a saving for anything special. It's not like it's going to affect your savings or anything. They're just some are stingy to themselves intentionally. While some people, it's not a matter of being intentional. They just have feel that guilt to spend on themselves. Now, this video is for you. We're going to be talking about how to take care of yourself without feeling that guilt, right? It's important that you understand that self-care is important for your health, for your mental health, for your physical well-being. Like everything we talk about, everything we do in this life involves money. That's the truth. Everything involves money. So you need to spend to take care of yourself. Okay? And remember that self-care is not selfish. Self-care is not spulging. They are just different things. When we talk about spending a lot, we're talking about you spending within your means. But if you can afford it, why not? If God has blessed you, you've moved from one level to the other, why can't you then spend more on yourself? So you have to prioritize yourself without feeling guilty. Because why would you why are you feeling guilty because you're prioritizing yourself? Like self-care is something that is so important for your well-being. So if you're putting yourself on the back burner, you're deprioritizing yourself, putting other people's needs, putting other things over your personal well-being, your own self-care and all of that, I think it's time to change that. So if you're ready to start prioritizing yourself, stop feeling guilty, and stop neglecting your needs, then you should keep watching. So the first thing you need to do on this journey is for you to understand the importance of self-care so that you can appreciate it. Because if you do not understand the importance, you would keep thinking that you're wasting money. You keep thinking, why am I here? You keep thinking, what the heck is this? You keep thinking, oh, I could have used this money for this other thing. I could have used this money for something else. It would always be in your head. So you need to understand that self-care is important for you to appreciate it. Now, I'm going to try to see if I can convince you that self-care is important. Okay, I'll try to convince you. Do you know that it's only when you take care of yourself that you'll be able to take care of others? You would appreciate taking care of people. You would understand taking care of people if you're able to take care of yourself first. If whatever you're doing affects your well-being, how would you continue to take care of others? How would you continue to how would where would you draw the strength from? Where would you draw the confidence from? Where would you draw the energy you require to take care of people if you don't do it, if you're not practicing it on yourself? So self-care is not a luxury, it's a fundamental aspect of maintaining a healthy and balanced life. So when you take care of yourself, you're better equipped to take care of others and meet their responsibility. So it begins with you. Charity begins at home is a statement that fits into most scenarios, right? Fits into almost every single scenario. So you need to understand it's not a luxury. You're not being, it's a necessity. It's a fundamental aspect of life. It's very important that you take care of yourself. The money you make is for you. And while you're living, it's important that you have a balanced life. So while you're trying to save, you're trying to achieve this, you're trying to achieve that, self care should be on your list. That's just it. You need to recognize that the reason why you make money is so that you can spend money. And the reason why you want to spend money on yourself, your family, and all of that. But there's also a you in it. It is not others, it is not other things. There's also you, right? So you need to also look inwards and put yourself first, because when you take care of yourself, you can take care of others. The reason why some of us are actually not happy is because we do not practice self-care. There is that as well as other things, of course, right? Now, I hope, now that I feel like I have been able to convince you, wow, self care is important, let's move to the next. You need to find out what makes you happy and find out your own self-care activity. What I would consider as self-care as luxury to me is not the same thing you would consider as luxury. So what makes you feel relaxed? What makes you feel happy? What makes you feel energized that you're ready to take on the world and do more? It could be a walk, it could be a stroll in the park, it could be quiet time, it could be that wristwatch, it could be amala, it could be little things here and there, right? It could be a big thing, and you're like, oh, okay, I have a plan to get myself this by, say, December. I have a plan to get myself this in the next 3 months. Like you save and you buy those things, right? It could be a bag, it could be a dress, it could be starting a new stuff, right? So you actually need to practice self-care. It could even be luxury bath, such that you want to do it in your house, scrub yourself like an actual wash day, something you want to start. It could be practicing good skincare. The list is endless and it's different from person to person. That's why I'm gonna give a very wide range of stuff. So you need to find out what makes you happy, what makes you relax, the cinema, going for concerts, going a walk in a park. It could be so many things, so many things. And most of these things would require funds, it would require money. So you need to first of all identify your own self, what makes you happy, what makes you feel good. So there's reading a book, there's going for a walk, and all of that. So it's different for everybody. You need to find out, it's different for everybody. You need to find out what works for you, what gives you joy. Because there are actually things that you do that actually give you joy, like they bring joy to you. When you do those things, you are pumped, you are elated, you're lifted. There's pure happiness coming from those things. You find out what they are for you and do those things, prioritize them. Make self-care a non-negotiable part of your life, because you've identified what these needs are. Now you need to practice them. The reason why some of us are sad really is not because, away from the normal things that make us sad, right? Let's not, I don't want to be um let's not be oblivious to those things, right? But part of the reasons why we're sad is because you're an extrovert who is not going outside. You're not connecting with people. It's the reason why people who have lived abroad will keep coming online to say, oh, the country is boring, this is that, and they're crying about loneliness, because they're used to being, now they're used to having people around them, but it's not the same. That's their new reality. But you're here around your own people, around, you have the money to go out, but you're not going out. You're staying inside your house. You're staying inside your house, living in it, and that's all. You wake up. If you even work from home, you wake up, you work, and then you move up. But you're an extrovert. You are not fueling the extroverted side of you, right? You're fueling the introverted side of you, and it's not who you are. That's why you say, oh, that's why you sit down and you're looking, you're moping, because this isn't you. This isn't the you that is the you, right? You want to be out there, you want to have fun. You might not be able to afford to do that every day or every week, but why don't you try it once a month, twice a month? And there are certain things you can do that do not require money, that you can go out there and do, that do not require a lot of money. There are places you can go that do not require a lot of money. So why not? Why are you staying in your house? So you need to prioritize those things that make you happy and actually do them. So, like any other thing, you need to schedule your self care. You need to find out time to actually make it work, right? This shows you value yourself and you actually value your joy and your happiness. Like, isn't your happiness important to you of everything you do? Like, your joy, your happiness, yourself is not important to you. Why? Now, another thing you need to do is to practice mindfulness. No, you need to practice mindfulness, and I'll tell you why. For someone who is so used to not putting themselves first, not prioritizing themselves, and all of that, right? One thing you need to do is to practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is staying in the present, right? Now, when you're doing stuff, Instead of you to enjoy that stuff, you're thinking about, I would have used this money to do this. Ah, this money would have done this, or it would have made my savings larger. You would have. I'm telling you because I fall while I take care of myself, I sometimes fall into this trap, right? You're feeling guilty. Why? Over taking care of yourself. You need to put away distractions, right? Stay in the present, enjoy the activity. There's a reason why you're doing the activity because you love it. Maybe you love painting, it relaxes you, it does this. So you have to stay in the present for you to get the benefits of that activity, right? Other than just being absent minded, worrying, thinking about how you could have used it, you're already there, you've already paid for it, enjoy it. Avoid thinking about chores, the work you're supposed to do, the plate you're supposed to wash, the inside your house you're supposed to be, the movie avoid avoid thinking about work, that delivery one, all of that. Avoid thinking about chores. You have to stay present. Every other responsibility, right? Every other responsibility for that moment does not matter. What matters is that you are enjoying the activity and it's a legal activity, right? So every other thing doesn't matter at that point in time. Stay in the present, enjoy it, savor the moment, right? And now, when you practice mindfulness, mindfulness is you trying to be present, trying to enjoy the activity, trying to flow, right? You also have to remove guilt. You have to tell yourself that you're worth it. You are you're worth the luxury, you're worth the time, you're worth the money, and otherwise you wouldn't enjoy the activity. You're going to be feeling guilty during the activity and after the activity, which really doesn't make sense. So you need to silence your inner critic and understand that inner critic and guilt are counterproductive, really, because you're feeling them, but what are you going to do with them? It's not like what you're doing is a terrible thing. It's not like it's something you need to repent from, right? What are you going to do with them? So you need to be able to silence those negative thoughts, those negative ideas in your head, challenge them, and remind yourself that taking care of yourself does not just benefit you, it also benefits those around you. It's a plus, it's not a minus. So it's actually time to let go of that guilt, right? And remind yourself that taking care of yourself, maybe I should stop using the word self-care, right? Taking care of yourself is not selfish, right? In fact, it is important for you to be productive. It's an essential part of life. You need to understand that, and understand that you deserve it. If you don't put that in mind that you deserve it, it would just not look good enough. So put it in your tell yourself, I am deserving of this. I'm deserving. In fact, I've worked so hard. I deserve this. Otherwise, you just never would see it the way for what it is. You always see it as you being selfish and feeling guilt and all of that. But remember that you deserve it. Okay? Remember that sleep is a part of self care. Some people don't sleep enough, some people don't rest enough. It's also part of self care. Now, you need to learn how to set boundaries, boundaries are so important for self-care. You need to learn how to say no, because if you're always out there, right, you become tired. There's no time to recharge. Even those who are recharged by being people outside need to rest. So don't overcommit where you don't have time for your own self-care. Like you commit to others such that you don't have time for yourself. You need your energy. You need to preserve your energy. So it's okay to decline invitations. It's okay to decline um extra work, if it affects yourself, the time you set up for yourself. And why a lot of people are like, because I just mentioned work. Truth is, if you don't prioritize yourself and anything happens to you, your work will replace you within a bit without even thinking too much. You'll be replaced, right? Now, away from that, for you to be able to give more at your work, you need to also be stable. You need to be happy. If you don't go out and do things that make you happy, you would be a dull person. A dull person, I don't mean upstairs. I mean, you see people, when you see them, they feel sad. There's just something around them that feels dull and not lively. That's what I mean. Okay. So you actually need to put yourself out there so that you can then recharge your happiness. While recharging your happiness, set boundaries, say no to some invitations. There are certain invitations. Just because you want to be out there doesn't mean that you need to be at everyone. There are some that when you think about them, you look at them, you're like, nah, this doesn't align with myself. This does not align with my values. This is just a no for me. And it's absolutely entirely fine. Okay. Now, a few other things is if you're the kind of person you have a lot to do, why don't you delegate? Ask for help. You can't do it all alone. That is part of self care. You can't do it all alone, right? You need to engage people. Find a support system. Find supportive people who will pull your hands through and through. So surround yourself with people who understand the importance of self care. You see, I might be the one making this video, but it's not like it's something I'm so perfect at, right? I also have my struggles. There are times when I want to do something. It's not because I can't afford it, right? But I just feel like it's a lot. I have people I call and be like, Omo, this thing I want to do, God, the money, and be like, I don't understand why, but you can afford it, right? We talk about it, and then I look into my money, my cash, and I'm like, okay, I can do this and manage myself for the month, right? There are also situations. A very recent one that happened was I was going somewhere. It wasn't far from me, but it wasn't far from me, so I didn't take a ride. And I was with someone on the phone, and I just said, ah, maybe I for just enter right because what is this? This song is so hot. This, that, that, that. So while I was saying those things, then it occurred to me that I could have actually how much is the right? So rather than beat myself about it, I just took my learnings from it. Like we had a conversation around it, and it was so funny because I was like, what sort of inconvenience is this? Like, it's not worth it. That was just my conclusion. Like, nah, this wasn't worth it. This wasn't worth the stress. It wasn't worth the cost savings. It wasn't worth anything. Probably because it's a route I usually walk. It's not far, but at this point in time, the sun was out, and it was so uncomfortable. So it really wasn't worth it. I just felt like, oh, I didn't think about it very well, and that's it for me. So yeah, you need to find people who would support your need, who would support the ideology. Because if you surround yourself around people who are stingy to themselves, they will always make you feel like, why would you do this? This doesn't make sense. I know why you go spend that kind of money on yourself, chicken, or why would you go all out? If you're someone that likes to have their nails popping and all of that, go ahead, fix your nails. It's absolutely fine, right? If you're around people who do not understand that, right? People who are stingy to themselves, they'll feel like, why do you need to do your nails? Right? Why do you spend so much money on your nails? But the truth is, do you want to do your nails at home by yourself? No. Right? If you can't afford it, do it. It's one of the reasons why you hear girls say girls trip. They don't want to do group girls trip. Why? Because they can afford to go to certain big places. While some ladies might be able to afford it, but they're seeing it as, oh, that's luxury, that's unimportant. But you've gone on that trip, you can afford to go to those places. So why are you gatekeeping on your own self? Why aren't you there? Because it's not a situation of you can't afford this. It's a situation of you can. You just feel like no. Then why did you leave your country? Why did you leave your house to go there? You want to go on a vacation to sleep? If that's your goal, we're not judging you, no wahala. It's also your like it's also a part of self-care, but then again, I'm still looking at you like this. So while you delegate, while you ask for help, while you connect with people who would support you and let you understand that no, you deserve this, or you can actually handle this. While you do all of that, it's also important to practice self-compassion, right? So treat yourself with the same kindness, compassion, gentleness, softness as you would treat your friends, as you would treat your family, as you would treat a stranger, as you would treat those around you. So, especially when you make mistakes, especially when you need a break, treat yourself, because it's very easy to advise others that, oh, you can do this, you can do that. But when it comes to you, you don't think you're deserving. Now, there's a problem. Okay. So, being compassionate and all of that applies to you as well as it applies to others. What you offer others, offer it to yourself as well. Yeah, I cannot overemphasize how important it is to be compassionate to yourself, and for you to be able to practice self care and prioritize yourself. Understand that you might need to start small, little steps here and there, manageable steps here and there, right? And while you do this, notice the benefits it brings to you, the little joys, the happiness. Don't be oblivious to it. Don't give that benefits that is coming to something else, right? It's a new thing you've incorporated in your life. So make conscious effort to identify the benefits and soak in them. That's the only way you go back to do it again. So regularly reflect on the positive impact it has on you and how it makes you happier, how it makes you more productive, how it makes you love yourself more, how it makes you a better person for yourself and for others as well. That is the only way you keep practicing it. Otherwise, you feel like it's a waste of your time. But when you understand the benefits, it helps you to do more, and gradually you build it into your routine and it just becomes a part of it. So, practicing self care is a win win for everyone involved, for you, for your friends, for those around you, for the community, for the society, really. So, you need to understand that it's a journey, especially if you're just starting. It's a journey, and like every journey, it has phases, has stages, it has challenges. What works for one person may not be what works for you, right? You need to find out activities that make you feel rejuvenated and understand that not all of these activities will involve money, right? Not And some of them would involve money. Some will be more expensive than others, right? You need to find out you need to find out those activities that give you joy, that makes it worth your time doing, that makes you feel rejuvenated, makes you feel alive, like you're actually living, right? The thing is, when you do not practice self-care and all of that, you don't feel like you're alive, you don't feel like you're living, you just feel like you're existing. So beyond that existence, right, you need something that makes you feel that energy. Now, those are the activities you should channel your energy toward. By taking care of yourself, right, you are better equipped to handle life's challenges and also be there for others to handle their own challenges as well, because you're more of a happy person, you're more energized, you can think clearly and all of that, right? That's why we say work hard, play harder. It also applies here. Okay, so it's a win-win for everyone involved, right? So I hope I've been able to convince you why you need to take care of yourself and how you should be able to do that. I know it's not an easy thing for people who are sort of not wired this way. They've sort of lived their lives in not taking care of themselves. I understand that, but I know it's not easy. Yeah, and I hope this video sort of helps to put perspective to things. And remember that you can only do some of these things by actually doing them. You can only learn how to take care of yourself by actually practicing these tips and actually doing them. So one thing I would say is that guilt will always hold on to you. Ensure you find a way to wiggle your way out of guilt, out of that bubble of money, right? Find activities that involve money and those that do not involve money, sleep, rest, and all of that. Going for a walk, cinema, yeah, yeah. So I hope this video has helped. That's the thing. So if you're still watching up to this level, thank you so much. I do appreciate the love that I have received on my channel. Please leave a comment in the comment section. That's the only way. That's like a second level check to ensure that you are watching and people are with me and I'm not just talking to myself. Okay, now if you're a new subscriber, please click on the subscribe button. Returning subscribers, hey, what's up guys? Returning new, leave a comment in the comment section. My name is Chamaka Okebo and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.